I'm here with Leo Barber at Paraparaumu Beach in New Zealand. Welcome, Leo, to the show.
Michael, welcome to you, and looking forward to showing our course to you and getting your thoughts on a few things and maybe sharing a few things that we're doing here. So, yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. Shall we go out and have a look?
All right, let's go.
Thank you. How long have you been here, Leo?
Started in 2006, so I'm coming up 17 years in January, which is the longest stint. It's been nice to put down some roots and bring a family up, and up until then I probably lived in 6 or 7 places in various countries around the world. So it was nice to come home from to a course that I grew up just 20 minutes down the road. So it was a bit of a full circle type of experience, and a course that I used to come to as a kid to watch the New Zealand Opens and some of the world's best players play. Tiger Woods has played here, Michael Campbell has won here, Gary Player, Sir Bob Charles has won here, Peter Thompson. So it's got great history, and I've been very, very fortunate to have got the position, and I love playing my small part in the overall history of the club. So where are we starting now?
Well, you mentioned that you dig into the dunes to get your top dressing sand.
Yeah, so all our top dressing sand is natural, comes on site. So we simply dig into the dune, harvest it, and put it on through drop spreaders. So we run a very low input program, based mainly around sulfates, sulfate of ammonia, sulfate of magnesium, a lot of sulfate of iron, and seaweed. That's kind of our main staple form of nutrient. And then we control the thatch, and you mentioned in your presentation all around the organic matter testing and basing decisions around data. And I'm a split between science and art. I actually really like the art side of it, but where I can see the benefit of science, I love kind of embracing it. So we organic matter test, and we've been doing that. Goodness, I'm going to get this wrong. Dr. Lind, is it? The gentleman that came
Yes.
out, we mentioned it during your presentation as well.
Mm-hmm.
04, so our course has got the longest records. I think 04 he was doing it from. And then I just carried it on from 06 onwards. When I got here, we were around 10, 11%.
Right at the top.
Okay, we got it down to about 4.5%.
Mm-hmm.
After 3 years. I read a book on disturbance theory out of Bigger, and all about how you've got to crash your thatch before you start trying to change the composition of your greens. So we went quite hard. We were doing very close spacing, 5/8 inches, tines. We were doing grading twice a year, and then grading on top of that, and we were really pulling stuff out. So I thought we let's get it down. We got it down to about 4.5, and then we just settled into low inputs, and we mainly control it through top dressing.
Do you know how much sand you put?
Yeah, I know. You mentioned your figure. Here goes the art part of me kicking in. 6 applications one side of summer and 6 applications the other side. I need to quantify that. Yeah, so that was one of my takeaway notes, to come back and actually work out, what the volume of our hopper is. I've done some rough numbers, but not as precise as what you've done.
Okay. And do you know how much nitrogen you put out? You use that
I do.
sulfate
So I
program.
track that. We just come away from the shed of it. So I do it in 100 square meters.
Mm-hmm.
So last year was 0.62 or 62 kilos per hectare.
Okay.
All
Right.
so,
That's a reasonable amount.
So yeah, when I came here, we were putting on 5 kilos or 500 kilos per hectare. So really dropped that off, and the greens went through a bit of a shock. There we go. So green. So, I mean, we can talk about the Kikuyu
Yeah.
issue over here. So,
Show me where you've taken this Kikuyu out.
So we were slowly getting Kikuyu infestation just through the areas of short. I mean, it's through the whole property, to be fair, but it was particularly impacting on the actual playability of the course in the short grass areas, because of links course, bump, run, feed, follow, flow, all that kind of stuff. And what's Kikuyu? It's heavy, it's spongy, it holds the ball up, it's grippy. So it's kind of messing up the ground game a bit. So little spot over here, this is a classic example where tiny little patches coming in, and the more you leave it, the more it would just kind of join up, and before you know it, you know, you'd have all this area here. So this is the second year. So like I was saying earlier, this would have been all Kikuyu through here. In fact, you can kind of see where the core areas is through there. And then we come in and we spot spray it, core it, put fescue back in. Sorry guys, no, you guys keep walking.
I really don't want you to watch me 3 parts.
Put fescue back in for when the Kikuyu inevitably comes back, and then we can go back in with haloxafop and just tidy it back up quite easy. So this is year 2, you can kind of see little spot treatments. And then next year it'll be even less again. So
And you have to do this on how many areas through the course?
I reckon we had maybe 1.5 hectares maybe of Kikuyu. Out of shortgrass areas would be 11 or 12 hectares. Yeah. So 10-15%.
Do you have any rabbits or other kind of non-native animals out here?
So no rabbits. I think they did have rabbits back prior to my time, but they're fairly eradicated now. We have a stoat that we're trying to catch at the moment. Maybe 2 stoats, I'm not sure, so we're doing trapping, and I was particularly interested in that at the conference. And there'll be no doubt there'll be some rats sitting in some of these wetlands. No possums, because we've taken all the trees down, so there's no habitat for them to hang out in. So not a lot of predators in here, no.
And the problem with them would be, well, the rabbits eat the plants and the other predators are eating eggs or birds, right?
Our biggest one, and it was mentioned at the conference, is pukekos, which I guess are they native birds in New Zealand? I don't know. They're vermin. They're TB carriers, but they love getting and pulling up the grass, and maybe paradise ducks. But yeah. I guess the problem with them would be, because we're predominantly a grassland environment, then a lot of the wildlife that come in are all feeding in amongst the dunes. So you know, they'll be easy pickings for things like stoats and rats that are ground dwellers, for sure.
Well, good luck with the trapping.
Thanks very much.
All right, Leo, thank you so much for the walk around and the look at the golf course.
Mike, it's been an absolute pleasure having someone as esteemed as yourself to walk the fairways with. So, mate, great to see you, and good luck for the rest of the trip.
Thank you. Next time I might bring my golf clubs.
Sounds like a great idea. Brilliant. Good on you.
Thanks.